The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings.
Se creía que lo que ocurría en el cielo era un reflejo de lo que ocurría en la tierra. Por eso se creía también que durante los eclipses la oscuridad reinaba por encima de la luz.
Cerrad los ojos. ¿Hay alguien aquí con nosotras? ¿Quieres hablar con alguna de nosotras? ¿Lo has movido tú?
It's terrible that a thing like this could have happened to the world. Long beyond us. You're going to lose millions of people. We're talking about the world. The whole world is being affected by this.
Champion
sweatshirts. Wearing the mask, which gives them that much more anonymity at a time when we're dealing with a pandemic. But it is amazing, Bob, to witness this here. Yeah. So Bob,
they're just cleaning it out. Just cleaning it out. Like I said, absolute anarchy and lawlessness really here.
I am your president of law and order and an ally of all peaceful protesters.
You can see all these protesters behind me, and they are walking straight down 16th Street. If you're familiar with DC, this is the main artery that heads, as you can see there, straight to the White House. And this has been ground zero for the protests all day today, not just today, but over the course of the past few days. Of course, it is no accident that the protesters are ending up here at the White House.
Haley, there is a perception that the president is hiding in the bunker on the racial protest issue. He was literally put in a bunker on Friday night.
It is their responsibility to police their streets. They have the police power embedded in the Constitution. They have quite clearly, many of them, failed to do their job. Look at the scenes we have seen. And it's gotten to the point where today the president has said, enough is enough.
Why would I betray you?
We all have our secrets. We just didn't get to yours yet.
Coronavirus has pushed the release of the next 007 film, No Time to Die, from April to November. The first major movie shifting its rollout because of the outbreak.
The release date for No Time to Die, which is the new Bond film, has been pushed back from April to November.
When her secret finds its way out, it'll be the death of you.
History isn't kind to men who play God.
CBS News has learned one of President Trump's personal valets has tested positive for the coronavirus.
That this valet started feeling sick on Tuesday and tested positive on Wednesday. And President Trump told reporters yesterday that both he and the vice president have subsequently been tested, and they are both negative, but they will both now be tested daily. And that is a change in the protocol here at the White House.
This as the coronavirus hits closer to home. CBS News has learned a personal assistant to Ivanka Trump has tested positive. The Secret Service has also acknowledged COVID cases in its ranks, and a member of the president's military valet was recently diagnosed.
Several White House staffers and members of the Secret Service who work in close proximity to the president on a daily basis have now tested positive for COVID-19. We know that. Fox News also confirms one of them, as David just mentioned for us, is the vice president's press secretary, Katie Miller.
A lot of good things have come out about the hydroxy. A lot of good things have come out. And you'd be surprised at how many people are taking it, especially the frontline workers, before you catch it. The frontline workers, many, many are taking it. I happen to be taking it.
Hydroxychloroquine?
I'm taking it, hydroxychloroquine. Right now, yeah. A couple of weeks ago, I started taking it. Because I think it's good. I've heard a lot of good stories. And if it's not good, I'll tell you right. I'm not going to get hurt by it.
Johnson needed a miracle. So he pulled out his last best hope. He sent a private investigator to dig up Kennedy's health records.
Raising the question of whether Kennedy is physically capable of serving as president.
We're continuing to follow the breaking news here in the Situation Room. 3 leaders in the fight against the coronavirus are now in self-quarantine after being exposed to the virus.
This idea that there are different rules for the leader of the country than for everyone else, that has not been the American way.
President Trump compared himself to Abraham Lincoln.
They always said Lincoln, nobody got treated worse than Lincoln.
Lincoln is assassinated. So how can any president, in a macro sense, be treated worse than that?
Look, I am greeted with a hostile press, the likes of which no president has ever seen. The closest would be that gentleman right up there. They always said Lincoln, nobody got treated worse than Lincoln. I believe I am treated worse. So here's another smart guy. So Devin, I thought about Devin more over the last couple of days than anybody else, because this guy would come in and he'd tell people what was going on and nobody believed it because it was not believable. It wasn't true that they would be doing a takeover of a presidency illegally and all of the illegality that was going on. And he was the first one, our superstar Jim, and all of us will admit this guy was just, he wouldn't stop. Devin Nunes, he wouldn't stop. He saw it before anybody, and you deserve a medal.
Port's ventilator assembly plant, where you have to wear a mask, but just moments ago we saw the commander-in-chief defied that order.
Well, I did I had one on before. I wore one in this back area, but I didn't want to give the press the pleasure of seeing it.
Years ago, The Simpsons eerily predicted Donald Trump would be president.
As you know, we've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump.
The episode, which aired in 2000, shows a grown-up Lisa Simpson taking over at the White House in the aftermath of a Trump presidency.
We're broke. The country is broke? How can that be?
Let's hope a Trump administration does better than that.
So a transition to greatness. There's not a switch to reopening the economy, and especially in businesses where capacity is reduced and staff has been diminished. But how and why should we maintain a favorable, positive outlook on the future?
It's funny because, the president, historically, he's always, I guess in his personal and professional life, you see these big ups and then these big downs, the rise and then the fall, the rise and the fall. He had the greatest economy ever, and now it's the worst economy ever. But is Donald Trump going to come back? Yeah, because he always does, and America always comes back.
Space is open to us now, and our eagerness to share its meaning is not governed by the efforts of others. We go into space because whatever mankind must undertake, free men must fully share.
Such a great achievement for our country, and our country's #1. Again, NASA's done a fantastic job. Don't forget, we turned it off artificially. It was just stopped. We went from the greatest economy in history of any country to we have to stop. It just brought you back to Earth a little bit.
We were definitely brought back to Earth.
Magic can happen, right?
Absolutely, a little magic.